Let's continue with ratio problems now. What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can solve this using the method. And here's an example. Divide a €200 prize fund between 3 candidates in the ratio 3:5:2. So 3 people bought tickets, 1 got 3 shares, then 5 shares, then 2 shares, and you want to divide the €200 between them. The total of the 3 numbers, 3, 5 and 2, you add up. 3 and 5 and 2 give you 10. Therefore, there are 10 parts of the 200. Somebody's going to get 3 of it, somebody's going to get 5 of it, and somebody's going to get 2 of it. How do you split this? Well, I would do this by drawing a table in a way, and I would say, here is the total prize fund, and that one is known to me. I know that number. I also know that there are 10 tenths in that, because 10 of the parts. I call this given because I know it. This is the column that's given. I also know that somebody had 3 parts, so that's known. But what I don't know is how much they're going to get for their 3 parts. I don't know how much somebody's going to get for their 5 parts or for their 2 parts, but I know the 10 parts in total added to 200. So I know this, I know this. I know that somebody wants 3, but I have no idea how much. So if I just look at this small part of it here, just that grid there, the 200x 10 and 3, I can transfer that to the next page. And I can say, there's the 200x 10 and 3. Now how do I solve it? Well, now it's just crisscross. And I can say, 10 is to 200. 10 parts gives you 200. What would 3 parts give you? So, cross multiplying, I say 200 by 3 is 600. X by 10 is x, 10x. 600 is 10x. I just flip it. I just write it on the same side again. So 10x is 600. X is 60. So 60 is what somebody got for 3 shares. Now, what would somebody get for 5 shares? Well, again, I could just ignore this column here in the middle and just take the 2 beside it. I know the 200, I know the 10, I don't know why, and I do know 5. So I draw it the same way. The 200, the 10, the y, and the 5. 200, 10, y, and 5. 10 units gives you the whole lot. I had 5. We know it's half. Even if we look at the answers, we know in our heart that that number there, 5, is less than 10. So this number is going to be less than the 200. So we can just crisscross and say 200 times 5 is y times 10. 1,000 is 10y. Take the thing over. 10y is 1,000. Y is 100. So that turns out to be 100. And that makes sense. It's twice the size of it. And we can do the same for z. Z was here, 2 parts, 2 parts. This column to find, this was given, 210 Z2, 210 Z2. Crisscross, 2 is a lot less than 10. It's only a small amount. So this is going to be a much smaller part than 200. 200 by 2 is Z by 10. 400 is 10Z. Z is 40. So the answers then would be, the person who got 3 got 60, this person got 100, and this person got 40. And the whole thing added to the 200. Let's take another example now and just see if we can underline the key words in the sentence. €15 represents 3/7 of a particular prize fund. What is the total prize fund? So you start underlining something and you're saying €15 represents something. That's given. But it's 3/7 of something. What's the total? How many sevenths are there? 7 sevenths. Is that okay? But 3/7 is 15. So if you were to write a column that sort of said sevenths, and you said 3 of those gave you €15, what would 7 give you? What you can do here is you can say, if I draw it as sevens, 3 of them was given. 3 sevens equals 15 euro. 7 euros would be, 7 sevens would be, I don't know. You just call it X. But because it's a box, you can then say, go to the next page, and say 3 is to 15 as 7 is to X. We know that X is going to be more than 15 because 7 is more than 3. More than double it. But 3x is 15 by 7. 3x is 105. Divide 105 by 3. X is 35. The x doesn't always have to be in the bottom right. It can be anywhere. It's just something you don't know the answer to at the time. Here's an example where you say, express 60 millilitres as a fraction of a litre. Give your answer in the simplest form. Well, you want 60 as a fraction of a litre. 60 millilitres. How many millilitres in a litre? 1,000. So really what you're saying is 1,000 millilitres is the lot. That's not a fraction. So 1,000 litres must be 1. No fraction. So if 1,000 millilitres is 1, 60 millilitres will be what? And then you've broken down the question. You found the 6 mil, you found the 1 litre, and they wanted the word fraction. So you can write 1 litre is 1,000. So you're given that 1,000 millilitres is 1, 60 is what? So all you're doing is breaking it down into what's what there. You cross that when you do it as a graph or as a table. 1,000 is to 1 as 60 is to x. Now, this is a lot larger than 60, so this is going to be a lot smaller than 1. But 1,000x is 60, 1,000x is 60, 60 over 100, 6 over maybe 6 over 10, is it, or whatever, or 6 over 100, sorry. We wanted to, the question actually said, give your answer in its simplest form. So now it becomes really just a fraction. They're both divided by 10, so I'm going to, they both have zeros, so I'm getting rid of the zeros at the end. That's 6 over 100. They're both even, so I'm going to divide by 2. 3 over 50. I don't think I can make it anything simpler than that. Because the only factors of 3 are 3 in itself, and 3 doesn't go into 50. So 3 over 50 is the answer. So that's the answer to finding the fraction.